The comeback starts when things are at their worst. It starts in that moment of despair, that moment that you could just quit. Today, let's talk about the comeback. Everybody loves the comeback story. What you're actually experiencing, it isn't failure. This is the part of the story that most people never make it through. So if you're in a hard season right now, if something fell apart, if the plan hasn't gone as expected, well, good. This is what you need to build your own comeback story. All right, let's go. If you're tired of not feeling fit, tired of just not having a focus, tired of just not having a life that you deserve, this is the place to be. I'm Jason Yarusi. Today, let's talk about the comeback. Everybody loves the comeback story. The athlete who comes back from the injury, the entrepreneur who rebuilds after losing everything, the person who just finds success after years and years of failure. But here's the truth no one talks about. The comeback isn't and doesn't start when things are at their best or when they're getting better. The comeback starts when things are at their worst. It starts in that moment of despair, that moment that you could just quit, right? That moment when you've just put on some extra weight, or that moment when you've been fired from the job, that moment when you've just been kicked while you're down. A relationship goes sour. You have a loss, and you have everything in your mind that could give you all the reasoning that you need just to give up, just to quit. But in that very moment, you decide not to. Every life has and does something meaningful when there are hard seasons. Businesses stall, deals fall apart. If you look at the economy now, we're at war. We see job losses. We see inflation rising. And in that moment, we start to lose trust, right? We lose trust and faith within ourselves. And the plans that you've had for years of building, they suddenly just collapse, right? As if the floor just falls out from underneath you. And in that moment, that voice, it gets in your head and it becomes really loud. Maybe this isn't meant to be. And maybe this isn't meant for me. And you could slow down. Maybe you're done. But what you're actually experiencing, it isn't failure. This is the part of the story that most people never make it through. They say, well, you know what? I guess this just wasn't the right time for me, and I wasn't lucky enough to have it happen. There's this moment in history that captures this. In 1919, Theodore Roosevelt, he was running for president again. And as he was getting ready to prepare for a campaign speech, he was shot in the chest before taking the stage. The bullet lodged right below his ribs. And you would think in that moment, he would just go get treatment, hopefully not die. And most people would have just even canceled the speech, but not Teddy Roosevelt. He just walked on stage and he says, it takes more than that to kill a bull moose. And then he spoke for 90 minutes. The moment, it just didn't show strength. It showed something deeper. That hard times don't reveal who you wish you were. They reveal who you actually are. You train, you are disciplined, you get up in the dark, you do the reps, you do everything that it is to live 100 philosophy. So when the times come up to be tested, you are battle trained because you've put in the work, both mentally and physically and emotionally. And anyone can operate at 100 when things are easy. Anyone can go out there and say, oh yeah, let's go make it happen when everything you have the wind behind your back, you have all momentum. When the business is booming, the market is strong, when the winds are stacking up. But the real test to living 100 is when everything's falling down around you and life's punching you from every different direction. Do you shrink or do you grow? Hard times, they do these powerful things. They clarify what matters. And when everything shakes, the truth, it rises to the top. And they strengthen your discipline. Comfort, it builds habits. Adversity builds character. Your preparation for the next level, it begins when you are tested, because that version of you, that achieves the next chapter of what you imagine in your life. So every time you're tested, if you tell yourself you're a failure and you're not worth it, you may have despair in your immediate future. But if you tell yourself, you know what, that didn't go the way I wanted, and there's a lesson learned in here, and you build off that, then you use the struggle to create clarity in who you actually can be. So if you're in a hard season right now, if something fell apart, if the plan hasn't gone as expected, well, good. This is what you need to build your own comeback story. Now, when it's easy and when everything's working right here, well, this is the moment that you put in adversity to your life. And that doesn't mean go crash your car or go blow up a relationship. That means that you go push yourself in the gym. It means that you go and learn something that is new, that's uncomfortable. The days when it's heavy, the days when nobody sees the work, the days when it feels logical to just quit, those are the days that define your story. And remember this, the people who win in life aren't the ones who avoid the hard times. They're the ones who look it right in the face and say, I see you, but I'm ready. That's the message of Live 100. That's what it takes to live a life that truly is one that you will look back on and be astonished about what you did and how you made it to where you are today. So get out there today. Face the struggle ahead. Live the 100. Let's do this.